Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria 3, where we are currently in a decent situation here, really. We're doing pretty well economically. We are at this point number 4 worldwide in the GDP, only behind China, France, and Great Britain. So that's absolutely great. We are number 1 in GDP per capita. That said, oh, that was ticking down, but it stopped ticking down on that last tick. Interesting. Okay, good to know. So we're doing pretty well on our finances right now. I would love to drop our budget, or rather our taxation, but I'm not going to do that just yet. Okay, so we unlocked quinine. I'm not actually sure how to pronounce that one. Let's find out, shall we? Quinine? I don't know. Let's see what we've got here. What do we got?
Quinine.
Quinine? Okay. Well, apparently it's quinine. Fantastic. We're going to tick on forward. I definitely wouldn't have guessed that one. But we're going to tick on forward here, and we are working on paying down our debt right now. The graph is slightly broken, but that is normal, apparently. That is normal. So we are enacting poor laws right now. We could work on enacting regulatory bodies, but we can't do that while we're enacting poor laws. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So this will be done soon enough. That'll enable Social Security. It will give us more welfare payments. And, I mean, we're paying a little bit in welfare right now. It's fine. I'm not too concerned about that. Our average standard of living has come up. Unfortunately, we're still number 30 worldwide. So we do need to work that up a bit. No doubt about that. But that is improving. And dramatically as well. So now that we're able to construct at full speed and still be making around 50k per month, we are definitely going to be working through this credit deficit, or not really deficit, this amount of credit very quickly. Very quickly indeed. So that is absolutely great. Economically, things are going well for us. Dangerous equipment. The tooling workshops in Hesse have seen an increase in workplace injuries due to increased mechanization and poor safety regulations. Accidents have always happened, but I felt like I used to have time to react. Not this time. I grabbed his arm to pull him out of the way, but I barely got hold of his wrist before the arm was all I held on to. So we can slow it down while we adjust. Or increasing the mortality of people employed in manufacturing for 5 years. Okay. I think 50% manufacturing industry's throughput for 5 years. That is pretty intense. Pretty intense indeed. But we'll do it. We'll slow down production, and we'll see how much of an impact that has. I want to know how much to expect in future playthroughs for that to be here. So that'll be a good thing to know. And I also wanted to do another thing, and that was hop into our buildings here, because I had noticed off camera that... Where was it? There was something in here. Here it is, in logging camps. We can run electric sawmills. So we'll definitely do that. That'll be great. So our income seems to have jumped upwards. So that's the thing. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. If that doesn't have a measurable effect on our bottom line, well, it might slow down the expansion, right? Because that will change the productivity, which would end up reducing the amount of cash reserves that we build up. So it might slow down our expansion in the future. Noted. But we're really paying down that debt. So that's really good. And we're just constructing away here. Austria just tried to take on somebody's national debt. That's pretty funny. Economic imperialism, advance egalitarianism, and industrialize. Okay. Noted. We are a lot more literate than Austria. Our standard of living is substantially higher. Our standard of living is now actually 15, which has improved dramatically. We're no longer impoverished, and we're now middling. We're up to 26 worldwide. That is a remarkable increase. I love it. And honestly, with this amount of income that we've got, I still want to pay down our debt. And I still think that that's going to be the best way forward, is to pay down this debt and then reduce taxes. But we could make an argument for reducing taxes right now, and our debt would still get paid down. That kind of depends, in my opinion. Okay, the number of radicals is dropping. But from decreases in standard of living. So that kind of depends on whether that happens all at once. I don't think it does, though. So I don't think that really matters. Because I was thinking about it happening in, like, chunks, right? And that as our standard of living increased, which it would only go so far, we would want it to be... We would want to take maximum advantage of that. But this doesn't actually help with increases, only decreases. Noted. Okay, 30.5k and 16.8k. Also noted. So that would be quite a bit if we were to increase this. Inefficient agriculture. Oh no. Subsistence farms. I mean, we've already done this. So the upper strata pops in Posen would become more radical. 5% of them. But that's okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. That looks reasonably fine. So regulatory bodies is maybe not a bad thing to put in here. What would that end up actually doing? Additional bureaucracy cost. We can afford that, though. I think that's reasonably okay. Yeah, I don't think that's a huge problem. So as far as all of this goes, we've still got... Oh, hello. That was a lot of things at once. So we got poor laws, plus 40% welfare payments, and enables the Social Security Institution. Fantastic. Getting the hobos and tramps off of our streets and into workhouses is well worth the cost. It's true. It is. So this also gives us production methods for our artillery, which is great. So we're going to hop into our buildings, and in our arms industries, upgrade this to breech loaders. Beautiful. I think that was the only thing that we really got, except for maybe under here. Yeah, we can go to shrapnel artillery. That seems reasonably fine. Cool. Okay, so now we could do regulatory bodies. We are not going to enact agrarianism because I want to be able to spend our investment pool on farms. Or rather, on things other than farms. We want to build farms occasionally, but that's not our primary focus right now. But regulatory bodies, I definitely think that we can work on that. And we are projecting a bureaucratic shortfall? Is that what's... Yes. I think that's what this is saying. Because we don't currently have a shortfall, but we're projecting one, I think. So we definitely do want to build some government administration. So that will, of course, be... Well, we should come in, like, here. Government administration. Beautiful. Now, this will cost us money. We are going to build this up, I think, in Anhalt. And I'm going to build 5 levels of it. There we go. But we're not in the hugest of rushes because we are still okay with our bureaucracy for right now. That said, I wouldn't mind that increasing. That's for sure. Cool. Market access in Silesia is a bit low, and we also require additional convoys. So we should take a look at that. So ports, we can definitely increase these up to level 5, and we can build ports in East Prussia as well. We'll get those going, and then in Silesia, we needed a bit of railroad. So that looks fine. So these are dealt with. Fabric tools, opium. Nothing we can really do about opium. There's a fish input goods shortage. Let's see here. Fishing wharves. Okay, we'll get those queued on up. Beautiful. And then fabric and tools, yeah, that's fine. Electricity is still a pretty major shortage, although our turmoil got a lot better. That's nice. I'm glad our turmoil got better, but we do need a good amount more electricity. So we can expand our power plants in North Rhine and Silesia. Alternatively, we could build them in, say, Posen. I queued up one more than I actually wanted to there. So let's... Actually, this will be on the next page, won't it? Yes, indeed it will. So we'll just cancel that one. Cool. So that should be reasonably under control. Reasonably so. And we've got about 10 million more in debt before that's all paid off. But that's completely fine. I'm not concerned about that right now. So that's excellent. We managed to deficit spend extremely aggressively while not really paying any major penalties for it. I mean, sure, there's the interest. But the interest is irrelevant at this point. I mean, it's not irrelevant. I'd like to pay it down. But it's not the biggest of deals. So this is going absolutely fine. Our economy is growing ridiculously. We have now passed Great Britain. And we are now the third largest economy in the world, nipping at the heels of France and China, both of whom have substantial numbers of population on us. So that is excellent. Our standard of living is continuing to skyrocket as well. So that's great too. We do have that bureaucratic shortfall, but we are going to have these government administrations built soon enough. I think this is fine. So we are going to have to start thinking about expanding our construction eventually. Now isn't the time for that. But eventually. Cool. Checking in on our situation here. Yep, we need additional convoys. We're working on it. We are working on it, but it will take time. Lots of constructions to go. So that's fine. We are going to start running out of population to work in these locations. That's going to become our primary issue. I'm hoping to have some immigration for that. We'll see. So if we go in here and look at the standard of living. I was hoping to see in the standard of living here that high standard of living would drive immigration. Annual projected migration. Okay, so what drives migration in Vic 3? The movement of pops between states in the same market or between countries facilitated by migration targets. Migration generally flows from states with lower to higher migration attraction. That makes sense. So what is migration attraction? Based primarily on the average standard of living. Okay, I feel like that should be included in the standard of living tooltip. Oh, it is. It affects its migration attraction. I guess I just never got to the end of it there. Fantastic. So that's fine. We are working on our ports at this point, and our government administrations are finishing up as well. Cool. So regulatory bodies are going to be done soon, but they're not quite there yet. Oh, hello. The most prominent members of Prussian Saxony high society have been seen organizing luxurious parties in the new and lavish urban buildings. Marble walls, shimmering stone, the noise of people coming and going brings the city back to life. When we didn't even know it was dead. Tall buildings cover the sunset, kids play with bricks, smoke blends with the clouds. A distant bell announces the next train. Progress is coming. So do we let them celebrate? Actually, upper and middle strata pops becoming loyalist is nice. 3 minimum expected standard of living for the upper strata for 9 years. Okay, so in Prussian Saxony, What is the upper strata expected standard of living? It is currently 53, with the minimum expected being 22. I think we're fine to say the party will never end. Beautiful. So we'll proceed there. And that's looking excellent. Anything else new in here? Fabric is expensive. Not super shocking. For the moment, that's okay. And yeah, we need additional convoys, but we are building a lot of ports, so that should be fine. Low market access in Silesia, we've actually already dealt with that, so no problem there. And our government administrations are expanding, so we are seeing a decent increase in our bureaucracy that will continue to come up for the next little while as those get their population in. Fantastic. So we can see our population here. We can see our number of peasants is 283,000 right now. 281,000. That will eventually... Yeah, that will eventually become 0. The question is, how long before that happens? How long indeed? Well, we're building all of these ports, and we're not going to have a problem with our number of convoys after that, I'm pretty sure. If we look into the trade lens here... Okay, we will get to these technologies in a moment. Where do we actually see... I know there was a spot here. Yeah. So we have plenty of available convoys now. There will be more. So that's absolutely fine. Beautiful. Okay, so we finished up these production methods. That's all well and good. We're going to work on reinforced concrete next. Beautiful. And let's check through here to see if there are any upgraded production methods that we want to use. The open hearth process looks good to me. Anything else in here? Yes. Steam-powered threshers. Beautiful. There we go. Not all of these are on automatic expansion. That's interesting. For some reason, I was under the impression that they were. And we can't automatically expand subsistence farms. That makes sense. When did these get taken off of automatic expansion? That's interesting. And yeah, trade centers can't be automatically expanded. That makes sense. Automatic expansion of railways when available. Okay, there we go. So we'll get that underway. And how's our debt looking? We are down to 8.2 million pounds in debt. I like it. That's fantastic. Absolutely great there. And our ports are just being constructed away on. They're maybe a little overbuilt, but we won't have any convoy issues for a little while. That'll be fine. Cool. So our ports are finishing up now, and this railway is now underway. And pretty soon we're going to be back to the automatic expansion stuff. So that'll be good. Yeah, these ports will be done in a few weeks, is the answer. We do have those fishing wharves still happening. There's still a fish and electricity input goods shortage. And to be clear, we still have fishing wharves and power plants queued up here. So it'll be a bit. Wait, does that go back to the top every time a week goes by? Every time a building finishes, maybe. Let's keep an eye on that. The port will be done not this week, but next. Okay, we have regulatory bodies. That's nice. We'll deal with that in a moment. Yeah, that goes to the top. Ooh, I don't like that behavior. I hope Paradox fixes that one. It's a minor thing, but I don't like it when this resets. I don't like that in Crusader Kings either, when the scroll bar in the current situation goes to the top when something changes in it. I don't like that. Hopefully they fix that, but it's probably a very low priority thing. Now, that did get us some new production methods. So let's take a look. Okay, I don't immediately see them here. Okay, maybe it's in the rural? But I didn't read through where those production methods went. Whatever. I'm sure it's fine. Cool. Okay, so our fishing ports will be done here shortly. Or rather, our trade ports will be done here shortly. Our fishing wharves are still in progress, as is this railway. But we're now only paying 11.4k per week in interest. That's really good. Our goods for our military buildings are still way up there. But that's fine. For the time being, we will continue to construct away. And this is looking completely good. Fabric, glass, opium, fabric. Fair enough. Fair enough. All of that looks reasonably fine. I think it's all addressed. Or close to addressed? I'm not sure what our actual deficit on electricity is going to be. Okay, so looking at electricity here, minus 686. This is only going to be 250. So we're going to need quite a lot more electricity. I want to check in on this one. Yeah, we're going to be hitting max cash reserves here pretty soon. So I think that's reasonably fine. We're paying a decent amount in subsidies, which isn't necessarily great, but for the moment it's okay. Large numbers of Polish people have begun migrating to a French state. Interesting. I prefer that they came to our territory. We can give them some jobs. But it's okay. I mean, honestly, we're not at the point where we need migration yet. We'll get there. At the rate we're constructing, we will absolutely get there. So we are going to be... That's interesting. We're making this amount of money, but yet we're barely pulling out of the investment pool. What are we currently allowed to pull out for the investment pool? Clearly, it's like the coal mines and the wheat farms over here. Like, if we go in here, we can see that we are allowed to pull out for agriculture, plantations, ranches, manufacturing industries, mines, forestries, rubber plantations, whaling, fisheries, oil extractors, and infrastructure. Which I guess power plants don't count as? Or... no, maybe power plants don't count. That's interesting. But our investment pool is currently going up a little bit. Now, it is going to start getting pulled out of again here soon. But that's good to know. That's very good to know. So we're about 10 weeks away from getting our power plants done. We've got some coal mine expansions planned. And we're also working on some sulfur mines, wheat farms, and glass works. Honestly, that all sounds good. We've got a silk input goods shortage, which that we pretty much have to import. We'll import some silk from the Russian and Austrian markets, as well as the French market. Cool. We've still got the silk input goods shortage, but that's to be expected, to be honest. Okay, now it went away. Hopefully it stays that way. And low market access in North Rhine. So that is certainly something that we want to deal with here. So that is off over here. Beautiful. We'll get that queued up, and that will be fine. Anything else going on here? I mean, we've got this unproductive trade route that I guess we could cancel. A dye input goods shortage. Okay. We'll grab some from the French market. And hopefully that will solve that problem. We definitely need a lot more electricity, though. And I think that we should consider building yet another round of power plants. Perhaps this time in Anhalt. There we go. We've got that queued up. And each one of those is 250, right? So if we look at our power plants, it's so weird that that doesn't show up in the market because it's an untradeable good. But if we look at our power plants here, we can see... Actually, we can just look in here. Pin that open. There we go. 669 is our current balance. So that's going to improve by almost 500? Almost? But not quite. Like, if we look down over here at how much we're currently producing here. Yeah, 250 now. Noted. So the electricity production here does not scale based on the employees. That's interesting to know. Cool. Well, that's not a problem. Market access in Westphalia has now dropped. So we should definitely consider building... Going over here to railway. Building a railway in Westphalia. There we go. Fantastic. And we're going to be finishing up some of this construction soon, but it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to get our debt completely wiped out, and that will be great. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, JJ Gamer, ALS Gamer, Kentuin, Atala, Shadowwolf, Jensgram, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Kadra, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the video, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.